Hi, this is Team 6 from Cohort 2 presenting our portfolio optimization project. First, I'll briefly introduce our customer profile. And this is a hedge fund portfolio. The fund manager is Jim Simmons. It was founded in 1982 and has a total asset under management $80 billion. And the headquarters is based in New York. And this is a pie graph based on the current portfolio allocation categorized by sectors. As you can see, the three largest sectors in this portfolio is healthcare sector, 18%, technology sector, which is 17%, and customer services sector, 12%.
Right. So basically, we looked into the portfolio benchmark for us to do the optimization, and we used three ETFs for us to actually come up with this. We chose the SP 500, the NASDAQ EFT, and the Russell 1000. And looking at the correlations and the tracking error, SP 500 came out the best because it has the highest correlation, it has the lowest tracking error, and it's actually closer to what it currently has in terms of sector allocation, right? So we then compared the portfolio which the client currently has in the benchmark, and as you can tell that the client has a higher standard deviation, which means a higher risk for him. He has a higher Sharpe ratio. He also has a higher Sitchin ratio and a higher training error. This just translates that the client has a riskier portfolio compared to the benchmark, and there's lower expected return for every risk that he actually takes. We then looked into how we're going to optimize this, and we did this through two solutions. That's the sector weighted and also the lowest sigma. On the sector weighted, we looked into all the sectors that he currently has, and based on those, we looked into the lowest correlation, and we came up with 25 stocks, right? Then we also looked into the lowest sigma, where we chose the top 50 holdings, and we looked into their lowest standard deviation. Then on that, we screened into 25 low stocks with the lowest standard deviation.
As mentioned by in the previous slide, that security selection strategies, we had sector weighted and lowest sigma. So in this slide, we have mentioned the stocks that we picked for sector weighted, and the right hand side represents the stocks that we picked for lowest sigma. Then for optimal selection strategies, for the sector weighted, the stocks, the 25 stocks that we picked gave us the 30% as the maximum optimal weight for Chevron, and for the lowest sigma as well, the optimal weight that we got was 30% for Hershey's and Chevron, and other stocks had a minimal weight. The under sector weighted, the portfolio performance was sigma was 13.67%, which was higher than the sigma under the lowest sigma strategy of 7.38%. So which made us decide to go with the lowest sigma strategy, because we were getting a lesser risk under this strategy. And Sharpe ratio under the sector weighted strategy was 0.16 compared to a higher Sharpe ratio under the lowest sigma of 0.55. And henceforth, for the Certino ratios and the trainer ratios, especially the trainer ratio in case of lowest sigma strategy was 0.21. And that meant like we are getting a performance better than the benchmark. And hence, in this slide, as you see, that the lowest sigma is the strategy that we went ahead with.
And then after we can select the optimal strategies, we are coming up with these weight from the Hershey, AstraZeneca, AbbVie, Medtronic, Chevron, and VeriSign. And when we compare with the current holding and the benchmark, we can see that we have reduced almost half of the standard deviation that we consider them as a risk at 7.38. So we have very less risk than the benchmark and the current portion that he holds. And when you compare with the Sharpe ratio, which reflects the excess return that you can expect it for in order to take 1% of risk, we have a lot higher, which is down in the positive side, while the other two goes to the negative side. So it means that if you take 1% more of risk, it's going to be negative returns for your portfolio. But not for us, we have the positive returns. Finally, we can conclude that we have the lower risk for our optimal portfolio. We can expect higher return for the 1% of risk. We also can expect higher return in order to take 1% of the downside risk. Last and not least, we have the excess return of the benchmark for 1% of the portfolio risk. So we can conclude that our portfolio gonna be the optimal portfolio for the clients. Thank you for the business and choose us as the asset allocation manager. Thank you.